Miami FC Broadcast Network. I'm Carter Krishner along with CEO Sean Flynn. We begin the quest to win this thing again in 2 days, Sean, on Saturday at Barry University Buccaneer Field, playing Miami United, a familiar opponent. And Sean, talk a little bit about the offseason going into this first big game in NPSL.
Yeah, it was a longer offseason than we wanted. We played 4 months last year as opposed to wanting to play 6 months. But it's been never boring around here, I can tell you that. A lot of changeover on the pitch and off the pitch. We've got a lot of new faces that will be making their debut on Saturday night on the pitch with Paul and the team. And it's been a long time coming. The guys have been training. I know Paul was on here last week talking a little about the technical side, but they've been training since January. Competing in a lot of exhibitions and friendlies and training matches and things like this. So they're chomping at the bit to play a regular season match, and it can't come soon enough. It can't come soon enough for the guys out on the field, and it can't come soon enough for us here in the office, because it's time to go out and look to win another trophy.
Yeah, I can attest to that. Best value in town, Sean, $25 for season memberships for the NPSL season. And I just bought my membership today. I just purchased one before we walked over here from our office. And it's the best value in town. And tickets are going quickly for Saturday's game.
Yeah, from what I understand, we've got a few hundred left. And we're reaching capacity over at Barry University. So... we are changing location from St. Thomas University to Barry University for the NPSL spring season. St. Thomas University has their football team starting, the college football team. So they've been great partners of ours. We've invested a lot in that community, just like at St. Thomas, just like we've invested. Ricardo's invested a lot in this South Florida and Miami specific, and in terms of growing the sport. But as we move over to Barry, a new home field for us, a new home field pitch, and as we look towards Saturday, we've only got, I think we only got a couple hundred tickets left available. So if you're looking to come out, the best way to do it, as you mentioned, is a season membership, $25. It's $5 per game. We've got 5 regular season home matches in the NPSL this year, and kids 12 and under are free. It's part of our mission to provide the most access to professional soccer in South Florida. We don't want it to be cost prohibitive. We want as many people as possible, especially kids. That's why they come in free, to experience the sport, grow the sport, watch our players, and find our players to be somebody to look up to, take what they see on the pitch and go back when they're practicing or playing with their friends or on their club team. So, again, as part of us just growing a strong foundation for this sport in South Florida, we want as many people to come experience Miami FC as possible.
Fan-friendly experience. Buccaneer Field is incredibly set up. Soccer-specific stadium, really intimate, beautiful pitch. I even commented when we visited there the other day, you can eat off the pitch. It's that beautifully rolled. Talk to our fans a little bit about the experience they're going to have there, which is going to be, St. Thomas was great last season, FIU's been great in the past, but the experience they'll have at Barry.
Yeah, as you said, it's an immaculate pitch. It's probably one of the best around anywhere, especially South Florida, even Florida. A lot of national teams come in when they're making their South Florida stop, whether they have a match here or they're passing through, use Barry as a training ground. I know the ICC teams are not coming this year, but the ICC teams use Barry University as their training ground, and the quality is just there. It's always there, so we're excited. And if you haven't been out to Buccaneer Field at Barry University, it's in North Miami. You see their tower right off of 95, so it's pretty easy to find. The sight lines are perfect. You're right on top. The bleachers are there. It's a great experience. We're bringing in food trucks, and on Saturday, Golazo's celebrating his 2nd birthday, so all of his mascot friends will be there. So it's just going to be just an exciting time. And it's the things that you're used to from Miami FC, providing quality fan experience, first-rate, memorable experiences for fans. That's what we're going to continue to do, no matter where our home is. And obviously, providing a first-rate, quality experience in the stands and on the pitch.
Germany played a friendly in Boca Raton before they went to Brazil to win the World Cup in 2014, and I saw them train at Barry.
Yeah.
They trained at Barry. They played friendly at FAU. Speaking of winning titles, this is a club, Miami FC, that has won 5 trophies in the last 2 years. we continue that winning experience, that winning legacy. How important was it to bring Coach Paul Dalglish back, as well as some of the mainstays of the team, Ariel Martinez, Dylan Mayers, and others?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great question. We are the most winning. Probably the most winning, the winningest soccer, whatever you say that. We've had the most successful, I guess, in terms of collecting trophies, soccer team in the United States over the past 3 years, right? I mean, we've got one here, but we need to build a shelf to put.
We have 5 trophies total.
Yes, which is an amazing number. And I you look around, I can't find another team in the U.S. that can compare to that. So it is important for us to put championship caliber football teams on the pitch season after season, and we want to do that not only this season but for the next 10, 20, 50 years. I mean, that's Ricardo Silva's vision, is to have a successful football team no matter what league we're playing in, whether it was the old NASL, whether it's the NPSL, or any other leagues that we could be involved with or will be involved with, or who knows what the future may bring. Our goal is to win championships, and to bring Paul back. Obviously, he was a big part of our championship season last year in the NPSL. To bring him back and to carry on the tradition that was started with Alessandro Nesta before him, it was vitally important. He and his technical staff did a phenomenal job last year. Now we've had some changeovers we talked about on the roster, but it was important to find quality individuals, not only technically quality, but individuals that fit in kind of the mold of what a Miami FC player should be. A winning attitude, a quality individual, and those are the type of guys we brought in this year to help us hopefully bring another one of these back home.
Where do we sit in this? There's this fishbowl of professional soccer in this country, and amateur soccer and all of that stuff. Where do we as a club, Miami FC, fit in that fishbowl the next 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years?
I mean, that would be left to be seen. I mean, our goal is, this is a long-term project. This isn't just, a couple-year project, and we're here today, gone tomorrow, like a lot of teams have been in South Florida. This is a generational project for Ricardo. And, right now we're playing in the NPSL. In the fall, we'll be playing in the NPSL Founders Cup, which is kind of a step up. There's 11 teams that are moving up from the NPSL ranks. Well, a couple of teams that aren't in the NPSL, but moving up from that kind of level of play to play with professional players, professional staffs, in more bigger, better environments for the match day experience. And then we'll see where it goes from there. We want to have the best experience possible, put championship teams on the pitch, and then see where it takes us. I mean, there's the landscape of professional soccer in the United States right now has been fluid, I guess, over the past, I guess it's always been fluid.
Yeah, last couple decades.
Yeah, so since its inception. That has to settle down at some point. We're in favor of successful leagues in the U.S. We'd like all soccer leagues in the U.S., all of them succeed. This sport should be healthy and should be here for the long haul. Now, the model that's currently set up, we obviously don't agree that it's structured correctly. We don't feel it's compliant with FIFA regulations. And a lot of folks know that we're involved in a CAS hearing, Court of Arbitration for Sport. So we'll see how that turns out. But ultimately, we want successful soccer leagues in this country, and we want to be part of that.
Yeah, so the NPSL Founders Cup, obviously, which will kick off in August. First match is August 10th, I believe, against Detroit City FC. With Detroit City and Chattanooga and the New York Cosmos in that league, you have 3 of the most visible clubs outside of Major League Soccer that will be coming here to South Florida to play us, and we'll make return trips to New York, Chattanooga, and Detroit. Talk a little bit about that. I think that's a very exciting thing for this club. Obviously, we've won titles in the NASL. The Cosmos were in the NASL with us. But when you add Chattanooga and Detroit to the mix, potentially, those clubs, I mean, anyone who follows soccer in this country knows the success of those 2 clubs. What that means for us.
Listen, it's exciting. You talk about the opportunities to get to go to those places and have them come here. I've seen the momentum build. I think 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half, whatever it was, Detroit visited Chattanooga and had 4,000 or 5,000 people in the stand, which is phenomenal. Bringing the likes of those groups into the Founders Cup League, where we get to play them on a regular basis, is exciting, and you can see the momentum building. So when you talk about Chattanooga, Detroit, the Cosmos, Milwaukee, and us, in the East. And then when you look at the West, you've got Napa, which is interesting. Albion in San Diego, Roots in Oakland, and a team in Arizona. It's pretty exciting, and now we're starting to grow and see the excitement, and folks are starting to get interested in what this is going to look like. As we talked about kicking off the regular NPSL season this weekend, but on August 10th we start something brand new that has a really special opportunity to become something that makes a difference in the landscape of the sport.
Let's pivot a little bit, Sean, to local soccer. Obviously, you mentioned South Florida has been fluid, volatile. Teams have come and gone. Fort Lauderdale Strikers are gone. Now we have Inter Miami coming in. How does that affect the landscape? And obviously, Inter Miami's decision to kick off at Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale for their first multiple seasons. How does that impact Miami FC?
Yeah, there have been a lot of teams that have come and gone. Again, we're here for the long term. I mean, we've just announced a few months back before the holidays. We announced that we were creating a partnership and building an academy with Real Miami FC, which will become the Miami FC Youth Academy program. So this is kind of a flag in the ground, saying, listen, we're here to reach all levels of soccer in South Florida. We're here to reach out and touch base with the youth soccer players and the families and their parents, all the way up to our first team. Some of those kids, eventually the goal is to have them play at Miami FC and maybe elsewhere in the world. So that is a major investment that shows our commitment and Ricardo's commitment to soccer in South Florida, specifically Miami FC soccer. And that field where that academy plays is actually right next to Ricardo Silva Stadium, Tamiami Park. So we're starting to build a kind of hub of football operations. But when you look at Inter Miami FC or CF coming in, we welcome them. I mean, again, I go back to all leagues of soccer in the United States, soccer leagues in the United States, we want to be successful. We just want the system to kind of change and get in line the way it should be. So, South Florida not only is difficult for soccer, it's difficult for a lot of professional sports. You see what's happening. I mean, there's new stadiums and venues all over the place, and some have happened quickly, some of them happen. There's still scars left in the market from some of these venues. So, it's not surprising what's happening to Inter Miami because of just the nature of what happens down here in South Florida. But we'd love them to come in. I mean, listen, the sooner they get here, the better. It's going to raise the voice of soccer, have more attention and more resources brought into our sport. We believe that the opportunity for American soccer, our domestic product, our first division and the pyramid below that, should be on par with the best systems in the world. There's no reason that the first division in the United States shouldn't be equal or as good as the first divisions around the world. It just should be. I mean, we have the resources, we have the athletes and the talent. We should be there. So that's what we strive to be. So we hope that they come in and are successful, and we'll look for ways to compete with them both on and off the pitch. Right now, the way we would compete with them on the pitch would be through friendlies or in the U.S. Open Cup, and we welcome those opportunities. We're friends with that organization. We've had conversations. We've offered to help and assist and help them move along and reach their goals. So we're excited about those opportunities, and whether they're playing in Fort Lauderdale or ultimately down here in Miami, we're going to be neighbors, and we look forward to those derbies.
Yeah, and obviously Miami FC has never lost to an MLS team.
No, we have not. That goes to again. I think we are the most successful soccer team in the United States over the past 3 seasons. Now we're heading into our 4th, and we've never lost to an MLS team. And we're gonna continue to be competitive when we play those folks. Hopefully down the road this year we'll have an opportunity to play an MLS team again.
So local soccer is an important part of the Miami FC fabric and the legacy project Ricardo Silva, our owner, wants to build. We've got a lot of local players on this team. I mean, I think about guys like Dario Suarez and Ariel Martinez connecting with the Cuban-American community here in Miami, and Brian James, a youngster I watched grew up in Boca, one of the top players in that area. And I watched his dad actually play for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. He's a legacy, South Florida legacy kid. We just signed Tomas Granito, Miami native, and he's going to be a fantastic player for us. Talk about those local roots, not just in terms of what we're doing for the future, but the kids or the players we have, the professionals we have here now that grew up in South Florida.
Oh, I think it's vitally important when you look at kids that are playing now in local clubs, whether it's the Miami FC Youth Academy that will be starting here soon. Their tryouts are coming in May, just so you know, if you're interested, go to miamifc.com to look for tryouts. Those they can look at Miami FC players and emulate their path, whether they play at Kendall or Pinecrest or in Weston or Miami FC Academy. They can see real life examples of players that grew up here, played in South Florida, and have moved on to greater things. So it's vitally important to have those local roots and to have local players involved in what we do. Paul and the technical staff understand that. Our first choice is find the right guy to build out the roster. That's number one. Yeah. If they come with local roots, that's a plus. So, if all things are being equal, and that's the only difference, we probably lean towards the local guys. So it's vitally important to have that. And they're great for the community too. I mean, we're very active in what we do. Being out in the community, making sure that folks can touch and feel the brand of Miami FC, making sure we're good neighbors is important. And if you've got a player that grew up here, or lived here the majority of his life, that makes it even easier because they've already got a circle of influence and a network. So it's extremely important to have those guys around.
We've got some questions from various social media platforms, and the first question is actually from one of our local clubs, the Palm Beach Spartans, who compete in the UPSL, who are a fantastic story, and we actually share a broadcaster with them. What are your thoughts on local scouting for Miami FC players? So right along the lines of what we're talking about.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we've got some on our technical staff. We've got a local guy by the name of Nelson Vargas, who was born and raised in Miami, went on to play in the U.S. national team. Played for the Fusion. Yeah, played here locally, professionally in the MLS, as well as the U.S. men's national team. So he knows this, what's happening here in the youth levels very well. So he's kind of our guy. But we're always out. Our guys are out looking for talent, and obviously we have our annual open tryouts as well. And we've found a couple of players through that over the years. So we were very cognizant of the fact that there's great talent here in South Florida. There always has been. You could probably attribute that to just being a melting pot from folks from the Caribbean and Central and South America, and the ability to play 12 months a year. Yeah, which is important. So we do understand that. We do go out and look, and we do focus on finding some local talent.
Yeah, Alejandro Bedoya, Josie Altador, among others. Mark Chung, lots and lots of guys. Fafa Picult.
Yeah.
Now.
No, the list can go on and on. And again, the importance of us having our own academy and funneling some of those players through our system and being part of what our kind of our technical staff builds is important. So that's why another reason that it's important for us to have our academy up and running.
We got an email from Felix, and this is kind of a loaded question. What team are you looking forward to facing the most in the Founders Cup? And we've named 3 big teams. You've named most of the teams in the Founders Cup. Do you have a specific team? Miami United is in the Founders Cup as well.
Miami United is in the Founders Cup. Listen, the Cosmos. I mean, come on. They knocked us.
There were reasons for that, right?
Yeah, they beat us in the semifinal of the NASL in 2017. So we haven't.
They did not beat us. It was a draw.
The draw. True. They advanced.
We lost on penalties.
They advanced from the semifinal that we participated in, and we haven't faced them since. So that's a team that we would look forward to meeting again.
A question from Luis via Facebook Messenger. What are your thoughts on the Open Cup draw and facing Florida Soccer Soldiers, another one of those really good local amateur teams?
Yeah, you can't sleep on anybody down here. So again, it's the South Florida is loaded with talent at the youth level, at the the adult amateur level, at the professional level. It's going to be a tough match. From what I understand, I haven't seen these guys play yet this spring, but from what I hear, they've had some solid results and some 5-0s and some 4-0s. So it's not going to be easy. None of these matches are easy. Again, when you enter this type of competition, anything can happen. That's what's great about the Cup competition is it's open, and you know what? Anything can happen, and any team can win. On any given round.
Chris via Facebook Live asks, "What are your thoughts on the Pepe Viet viral videos from the past?"
Oh, yeah.
If you want to answer that,
yeah, he's out there. That's about all I can say about Pepe. He's out there.
Yeah, so getting back to Saturday's opener against Miami United. Last season, we played them 3 times. We didn't beat them any of those 3 times, even though we went on to lift this trophy and win the Sunshine Conference, which they're in. They got the best of us, and it is a derby. It's a Magic City Classico. Is there extra motivation for this match? And, of course, we're going to face them in the Founders Cup as well.
Right, and we face them the following week, right? We
go
to their place, so we got them. In the next 10 days, we've got them twice. There's extra motivation. I mean, this is a team. It's a derby. There's nothing better than derbies in sports. This sport, obviously. So this is a match that we've been waiting. It's the first match of the year. You have all the built-up anticipation, and it's guys that we didn't have a lot of success against last year. So there is a lot of emotion, I think, coming into this. And we talked to the guys and said, listen, play within yourselves and understand what's going on here, and be cognizant of the fact this is an important match that we need to contain ourselves and perform well.
Is it a difficult thing when we've won as much as we've won in the last couple of years? As you said, the most successful team in U.S. professional soccer over the course of the last 3 seasons since we launched this thing to keep the standards up. I mean, what is the process by which we find players, we find staff, do that sort of thing? Because we've established the standard up here, which not many can match.
No, it's important. I mean, we've made a commitment, to provide competitive teams, no matter who we're playing, no matter what league we're in, no matter what the competition is. We want to have a chance to win every time we step on the pitch, and should expect to win every time we step on the pitch. So, the process of going out and building that type of team is careful consideration of the people you're bringing in. Again, not only their technical ability and their skill level, but also what's going on up here, their emotional intelligence level and things like that. So it's important. And Paul has done a great job of building this, along with Darren McCartney, our VP of Ops, to kind of put a roster together that is the Miami FC way. I mean, there's certain types of individuals you've got to know what we expect when you come in here, and we expect take this seriously. You're here to play soccer at a professional level. We're going to do everything we can to put you in the best position to do that, and the results are expected.
Yeah, we're looking to, mentioned the Cosmos earlier. We're going to play the Cosmos match at Ricardo Silva Stadium, recently voted by a Twitter poll of our followers, our fans, those out there. The greatest moment in club history was Poku's goal, or the winner against Atlanta United, but we think of Poku's goal. What is it going to mean to go back to Ricardo Silva Stadium? Last game we played at Ricardo Silva Stadium is the match you mentioned. We were eliminated. I say it was a draw. You said it was a loss, but so we're playing the Cosmos again there. Talk about the meaning of that.
Yeah, I mean, to get back there is is important for us. We want to make sure that we didn't have the opportunity to do that last year, so it was vital for us to go back into Ricardo Silva Stadium this season. Obviously, there was a great investment made from Ricardo in terms of upgrading that facility with a brand new turf, with upgrades into the infrastructure, the Wi-Fi, the video boards obviously are new. So it's important for us to take advantage of that and make sure that people understand that's our home. Our plans are to be back in that stadium on a regular basis. We still have a long-term lease with them. We're still have a great partnership with Pete Garcia in the athletic department there. So it's really important for us to get back. And again, when you look at the investments that are made in this community, it's not just at Ricardo Silva Stadium, but we've invested at St. Thomas, which is our training home, with lights, and we invested in the fields there and the locker rooms there. We've invested at FIU at Ricardo Silva Stadium. We're going to make investments at Tamiami Park in terms of what the fields are there for the academy. So the long-term commitment and the investment in this community and the investment in this sport is vitally important to what we do moving forward.
So unfortunately, we have as you described earlier, we have a pyramid in this country, or a professional structure that doesn't mirror the way it's done in the rest of the world, does not necessarily conform with FIFA statutes. I mean, we could spend the whole day talking about that. But as a club, what are we doing to vertically integrate players locally and invest? And you just outlined some of it. Invest in facilities here around South Florida.
Yeah, I think it ultimately is to build what a European club would look like. Right, you have a youth system that you're looking for players and developing players that kind of funnels up into the first team. I guess the biggest difference there is we would have a broader base at the bottom of that. European professional clubs typically don't have these recreational programs and things like that. We want massive numbers participating in the Miami FC Academy. We want obviously boys and girls at a recreational level, starting at 4 years old, coming over, starting to learn the sport, starting to fall in love with the sport, getting introduced to it for the first time maybe, and kind of pushing their way up. As they move up, you'll start to identify the talent level of some versus the others, and some of those will go into kind of a select division as opposed to a recreational division. But the goal is, again, to build massive numbers of youth players participating in this sport, whether it's in Miami FC's academy or not. We would still want to interact with every team in this community, be partners with every team in this community, and just funnel more kids and more families to participate in the sport. Hopefully it's with Miami FC. And as I said, you kind of funnel those up, and then ultimately the first team. And when you look at, we talked about the players that come out of this area, we'd like a lot of those to come through the Miami FC Academy.
So Inter Miami, in their decision to play in Fort Lauderdale rather than here in Miami, Jorge Mas, their owner, made some statements about the facilities here in Miami-Dade County and why his team has to play in Broward. What are your experiences? Obviously, this club has invested a lot in facilities here in Miami-Dade County. What's your experiences with the facilities?
I mean, we've found some great facilities. Obviously, our training home has been at St. Thomas since our inception, and they've got phenomenal fields there. We talked about national teams coming to train at Barry. Well, they do that at St. Thomas as well. So St. Thomas has phenomenal facilities. We've helped kind of build those to another level by investments that we've made. Buccaneer Field at Barry, we talked about how great that is. Obviously, Ricardo Silva Stadium, when you look at that from a soccer perspective, is a magnificent venue. The sight lines are perfect for soccer and American football, and with the new turf and the new video boards, it's an outstanding venue for our sport and an outstanding home for us. The parks that we've played at, and we've done some training and done some different things throughout the city of Miami, the county of Miami-Dade, and we found a lot of quality fields, and we're impressed by most of the places that we visited. So when you look around, I think that there's a lot of opportunity here, and the homes that we've been at and the homes we will be at, we were excited about all of them and look forward to continuing to play at those places. Kendall
Soccer Park's another, and obviously FIU Soccer Stadium. There are a number of facilities in Miami-Dade County, and obviously there are a lot of good facilities in Broward and Palm Beach as well. So your thoughts as we enter this season? We've got I can't even think in my mind how many trophies we have to play for. We have 5 trophies, I suppose, that we could play for this year. 6, if you include Founders Cup East and Founders Cup.
Right.
What is the realistic goal for this club? Because 3 trophies last year, 2 trophies the year before. The bar is set real high. Do we have to win a trophy every season? Is that what we set out with? The thought?
I mean, that's the goal. Whatever the number is, the goal is to build the collection. I mean, that's what we strive to do. Everybody knows that when they walk in the door, whether it's here in the front office or it's at the training grounds and the locker rooms at St. Thomas. And when folks come in, whether you're new to the organization or not, the goal is to win trophies. We addressed the team a couple weeks ago, some of us from the front office, and reminded folks that we win championships and we want to continue to do that. Now, you can't always do that, but we want to try to always do that. So you're not going to put a prediction out there, but we want, hopefully we'll bring back some trophies. I mean, when you look at the quality of folks that we brought in, we talked about that, but we've got a coach that's known in global circles, the global football circles. Paul Dalglish is well known, and he's been involved and obviously played professionally in the UK. He's played at many levels here in the US and coached at many levels here in the US and Canada. So he's a global guy from that perspective. We've got a number of players that have played through Miami FC that have gone to play for their national team. We've got a current guy in Tomas Granito, who plays for the national team of El Salvador, who just qualified for the Gold Cup. So, we've had guys like, Poku and Michael Lahoud in the past who played for the national team. So, again, we want to put first class, first rate, quality football on the pitch, and whoever we play, we're going to be competitive with.
Yeah, well, Sean, thank you for the time today. We're excited about the opener. We're less than 48 hours away from our opener. Last plug for that, Barry University, we have only a couple hundred tickets left. Sean, $25 memberships for the season, probably the best way to get in.
Yeah, $25 for 5 matches, and kids 12 and under for free. So just just the adults need to pay, we're looking forward to it. 5 home matches in the regular season, and then we've got the Open Cup on May 8th.
Well, we are not done yet because we had some late flurry of questions, I guess, as people realized we were about to log off, which is great, which is fantastic. Alex, via Facebook Messenger, asked, will the games be on TV this season? We can answer that. Miami FC Broadcast Network will be online. We'll be streaming the games through MiamiFC.com and also MagicCitySoccer.com and the MyCujo platform, which you find a lot of soccer on that platform. So, and I think fans will be very impressed with the production quality this year. I'm very pleased with what we've been able to put together in the preseason, and starting Saturday for the regular season, we've increased the level of production this year.
No, we're looking forward to that. And then as we get into the Open Cup, the U.S. Open Cup has a partnership with ESPN Plus now. So all the Open Cup matches, as we hopefully progress through that, will be available on ESPN Plus. So.
Yeah, they'll be on ESPN Plus, which is only $4.99 a month. OTT service from Disney, and the Founders Cup, we will have an announcement in the near future.
Yeah, we're working through that as we talk to our other partners and the other clubs in the league. We're coming up with a solution that will make sense for all.
So Kelly asks, I see the players are wearing new orange and blue jerseys on Miami FC social media. When will the team wear those, and are they available to buy? Now, Sean, those are new away kits, right. And they're available, obviously, online at the store.
Yeah, they're available online at the store. If you come out to the match on Saturday night, they'll be available there. You can put one on and wear it at the match night. Now, those are very popular. So we'll have our home. If you haven't seen it, go online. Obviously, they're all listed there, and you can buy them online. But it's traditional teal with the orange sleeves. Our away kits are what were just described as the orange and blue, kind of faded with stripes. And then we've got a kind of a different blue for an alternate that you'll see. So, but those are the away kits.
Yeah, those snazzy new away kits will debut April 27th against Miami United, who are now playing at Ronbrook Stadium, North Miami Stadium, 151st Street in Biscayne. So, actually, before we log off, we talk about a Magic City Classico. Barry and North Miami Stadium are about 3 miles apart.
Right.
That's like a European derby.
Right. Yeah. That's. Yeah, they just moved closer, so that you can almost march from one minute to the other.
So once again, we're going to be with you on Saturday beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern Time from Barry University as Miami FC starts its defense of this thing, NPSL National Championship Trophy against Miami United, against our crosstown rival. And we'll have some more features for you on the Miami FC Broadcast Network as we build up for that game. Only a couple hundred tickets left. If you want them, go to MiamiFC.com and buy a ticket. And we hope to see you at the game on Saturday, and then we'll talk to you real soon. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.